All right, we've started. Chris Weibel, good to see you again, man. We had a
Yeah,
little bit
good.
delay getting to this one because we've both been on crazy schedules.
Yep.
And you're in Charlotte there. Are you weathering the storm? I'm in California. It's
Oh,
82 degrees here today.
you son of a bitch. It's not terrible during the day here. It's like low 30s, which isn't great. But
Considering what's going on with some parts of the country, that's not
we'll
terrible.
we'll take it. But then at the night, at night, it's like down in the teens and
Yeah.
sometimes single digits. So
Wow. Yeah. Well, Charlotte, baby.
they're
Uh,
calling for a big snowstorm tomorrow. So I got a flight on Sunday. We'll see if I make it. Otherwise, maybe I'll just be snowed in all week. So
is
whatever.
this to Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Well, it's going to probably be pretty cold there.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get into our movie, which
Yes.
is The French Connection. So we'll start off like we usually do. What is your history? Have you seen this movie before? I'm guessing you had at some point.
I know I had at some point. I used to work at a Blockbuster all through high school, and we got five free
Oh, wow.
rentals. No, yeah, we got five free rentals a week,
Well, wait
which
a
was
second.
one.
No wonder you like Quentin Tarantino. Didn't Isn't exactly what he used to do? He worked at a video store. I don't know his
Yeah,
Blockbuster, but he was okay. That's why you're a movie and a screenwriter guy. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So we got five rentals a week, which was one of the best perks. There were other ones, but that's a different podcast. And so I just went through decade by decade and just rented everything I could find. So I know I've seen it at some point, but it's been so long, it felt like it was brand new all over.
Yeah, it's funny because one of those movies where I'm like, I'm sure I've seen this before, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I watched it probably about a year and a half ago, and then I go, man, maybe this is the first time I've seen it because I don't remember anything.
Right.
The car chase scene, I sort of remember I remember how cool that was, but I don't remember anything. But anyhow, then I just watched it again, actually this morning for the pod,
Nice.
and um, and it's funny. Well, not funny, but I always associated William, Friedkin. The only movie I go, man, he's the Exorcist guy. Totally
Right.
forgetting that
Yep.
he was this guy, and this was his biggest movie as far as Oscars and stuff like that.
Yeah, this launched all the other stuff. I didn't even realize it too. I did the same thing. Oh, the Exorcist guy. But,
Yeah,
and then he's also done a ton of other good ones too.
I was looking at his, he's an interesting guy. If you listen to him in interviews, he's funny. He was a really funny guy to listen to. Very, talk about his movies and stuff like that. There, very seems like a cool dude. But yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting resume of movies. A lot of hits, a lot of misses actually.
Oh yeah.
And a movie we talked off camera about was sort of like his the kind of I don't want to say ruined his career, but that was what was the one with the truck, Sorcerer.
Sorcerer, yeah.
That bombed so hard it kind of
I
affected his
know.
career. That was obviously after this, but yeah.
And and you and I were talking about this. I think Sorcerer's a good movie. I got to rewatch it, but I remember liking it.
Oh, I just watched it like 6 months ago. I was blown away. I thought it was
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe I'd never heard of it.
Right.
And then
Mhm.
on retrospective reviews, they love it. But back in the day, it was poorly named because everybody thought it was a fantasy sci-fi movie or whatever.
Sure.
Sorcerer, it had
Right.
nothing to do with that. But anyhow, yeah. By the way, do you remember? I'm guessing you saw The Exorcist, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like everybody has an Exorcist story when they first saw it. How old were you when you first saw it? Not to get off track for the movie we're doing, but
Yeah, I probably was older than a lot of people. My parents were pretty guarded until I was in my teens about what I saw. So I don't know, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there probably.
yeah. So just real. This was my dad. This was my dad. One of my dad's third wife, my third stepmom.
Okay.
I think I was in seventh grade, and she was super kooky religious. So like really into like satanic stuff and like Procter and Gamble. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Back in the day, everybody thought Procter and Gamble, their little symbol with a half moon and all this. That's we couldn't use like Crest toothpaste because it was. I mean, she was that kind of that. It was kind of prevalent in the world at the time. Everything was
Right.
satanic, so that was in your head process. And she was all into these weird churches. Anyhow, one day
Right.
we're all watching TV, and The Exorcist comes on regular TV, and I'm
Mm,
seventh grade, and my family, my dad, her, maybe my brothers, I don't even know. They were sitting up on the couch. I was sitting down on the floor watching The Exorcist, just gripped by it. And at some point, like halfway through the movie, I turned around and everybody had gone to bed, and I was in the living room by myself watching The Exorcist. I don't remember if I continued watching or if I was so scared that I just turned it off. But I remember I went to bed and I could not sleep for like hours, dude. It was so scary, man.
Yeah, and I was older than that, and I still couldn't sleep. I was like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
did I just watch here? Jesus.
But also the fact that in my household at that time, this
Yeah,
is real. This is real religious stuff. You know what I mean?
right.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. But anyhow, that's the movie I always associated him with. You
Of
know,
course.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize he had such a a great canon of movies. I guess and eclectic mix too.
Yeah, he
Uh,
also real quick did a very underrated movie called To Live and Die in LA. Which if you get a chance, 80s movie is also very good.
and it's funny because I was reading up and going, oh, how is it that I've heard of this, but I've never seen it. So that is one that I will definitely put in my thing. I think I read somewhere that he thought that was going to be his great comeback and his grandiose like swan song in a way, and it didn't
Yeah.
quite hit. It didn't quite hit that hard, but let's get to our cast.
Yes. Let's do it.
What do you think? Now, in reality, it's pretty small cast. It's basically two guys.
Which I love. Yep.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I am a huge Gene Hackman fan. Gene Hackman for me is just one of my all-time favorites. So anything he's in, I'll 100% watch. He's also one of the great yellers in film history. Nobody really yells on screen like Gene Hackman.
I hadn't really thought about that way. I think you're right.
Oh, I think he yells in every movie. It's got to be in his contract.
Yes.
And I've just always been a big fan. So absolutely love him. So to start right at the top, boom, Gene Hackman, can't go wrong.
It's I saw somebody. I think they were. I want to say Pacino or some famous actor, or maybe it was a director. Somebody about who's the greatest actor of all time. Now we're going back a few years, and Hackman's name came up. They said he's never done. He just doesn't do. Maybe his movies don't crush, but he's
Right.
never bad. He's never had a bad performance because he's just so much of a natural. Here's what I find unique about Gene Hackman in maybe ever in showbiz history, is movies history. He is a character actor looking guy. He's
Yep.
like what today would be like a who's the who's the guy? He's in a lot of the he was in Boogie Nights, the curly hair guy.
John C. Reilly?
Yeah, he looks like a John C. Reilly type.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just looks like a character. There's no character actor. He's not the lead, and somehow he became a lead. I don't think in showbiz history there's ever been a guy that his role, by the way, was initially offered to Paul Newman, amongst others, Robert
Yep.
Mitchum,
Saw
James Caan, all these sort of leading men-ish looking guys. Friedkin said he didn't think Hackman had the meanness in him to do the role, and then turns out he was obviously wrong. But but he was perfect for this role. And some of the other guys I thought would have been okay. James Coburn, he would have been probably okay. But Hackman he was perfect because this guy was kind of a slovenly guy. He was a New York cop. You don't want him to look. Steve McQueen just wouldn't have pulled it off. Neither would Paul Newman. They're two polished guys.
Yeah.
And,
McQueen, he's in the cop movie in San Francisco. That's more his city.
Bullet. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. New York
they say that's why he turned it down, because he'd already done Bullet. He didn't want to do another, basically rehashing this sort of kind of thing. It's funny because the two car chases are compared very, very often compared. But I'll tell you who I also like, and that is, and I've always liked this guy, that's Roy Scheider.
Yeah.
That's another guy. No bad roles, man. No bad roles.
And that's another guy I always just obviously associate with Jaws. And then, so when I saw him in this, I was like, oh shit, he did make other movies. I just forget that he's done other things because he's so associated with Jaws. But outstanding.
And eclectic too. What's the Bob Fosse story movie he made a couple years after this? Oh my God, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one in years too.
Is that the dance movie?
Yes, the Bob Fosse.
All That Jazz.
All That Jazz. Yeah. I mean, totally different than this. It's
Yep.
funny because I was thinking about Roy Scheider. I go, did this guy even start acting until he was like 40? Because
Yeah.
because you don't ever, you can't think of any time where you saw, oh, there's a young Roy Scheider. So I went back and looked at his first film, 1964, was called The Curse of the Living Corpse. Like a total low budge, black and white. This is 1964, still black and white. So that tells you low budge right there. And I went and watched it, and he's like in his 20s, and it is the dumbest, corniest, like crappy movie. He's actually pretty good in it, but it's so laughably bad. That, I'm like, oh, but it was nice to see a young Roy, Scheider.
I can't even imagine what that looks like. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of looks the same, just like he kind of never changed. He always looked sort of old for his age, I guess. But I thought those two, the casting could not have been more perfect.
I agree.
Two cop buddies. It was so realistic the way they portrayed it. There wasn't a lot of cornball jokes between them. It was real talk, the way two cops I think would really talk.
Oh yeah.
A lot of just downtime waiting in cars where, they're not telling us the plot. They're just literally being, it didn't spoon feed. It didn't spoon feed anything to us. That's what I really liked about the two. And honestly, there's not a whole lot else you can talk about as far as the cast goes. The French guy who was actually a Spanish actor. I forget his name now. Nicholas Ray, I believe. He was great.
Fernando Ray.
Fernando Ray, Nicholas Ray. That was the director.
Nice.
Director, yeah. Fernando Ray. I guess he was the Friedkin or whoever. They saw him in a movie, and they called the casting director, a foreign movie, and they said, "Hey, we want this guy," but they actually were looking at a different actor. But
I saw that. Yeah,
did you see all that stuff? Yeah, but this guy, they got a hold of this guy, but the other actor couldn't speak English, and this guy could, so that's why they ended up keeping him. He was fantastic.
Yeah, I got. We'll get to him. I got one part about him. Sure.
Okay, right. I was gonna say. Let's just say. I think we probably both agree that this is a great movie, right?
Oh yeah. 100%.
However, you know me. My favorite saying is, "I don't buy it." There's always something in movies where I'm like, I just don't buy it. Now, very few movies don't have that moment.
Well,
like the Maltese Falcon, there was not one like we already reviewed a couple months ago, but there is two. I don't buy it in this movie that are so bad that we'll get to them later. That it's almost like mind-boggling that they can be in such a great movie. But let's get right into the movie. So it starts off in France, and which I was very proud of. First thing you see is a pizzeria.
Yeah,
Italians. I thought was kind of weird. I thought it was kind of funny. The guy's eating pizza.
Yeah,
and then and you know what? And remember the guy who remember he had the big nose and kind of like the. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. 70s movies, earlier movies, the characters all looked like the parts they were supposed to be. The actors all did. Everybody, not everybody was a pretty boy or just seeing him. You don't even know who he is. He's inconsequential, but I'm like, I already like this.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a bad guy. He looks like a rough, whatever.
It looks like they plucked him off the street. They were just like, "Hey, get over here. Hold this baguette. You're in this movie now." Like not central casting, like they just grabbed it.
Yeah, like you are perfect for this, and that's what we're gonna use.
Yep.
And then of course, the assassin follows him.
Yep.
And then just all of a sudden, without telling us what's going on, we don't have no idea what's going on, right? When you were watching this.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, shoots him. Okay, why did that happen? We don't know. And then he goes up and he takes the baguette, takes a bite on the baguette.
Yeah.
I mean, that was this came out at the same year as The Godfather, right? Because remember, leave the gun, take the cannoli. That just reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like it'd be paying homage to.
I was like, dude, we know we're in France. You don't have to have him eat the baguette on the way out. Like,
it was like, I mean, are they tossing a little levity, a little lightheartedness for a movie that's going to be really intense? Right. I don't know, or just to show that this assassin is just so he doesn't care. It was a choice for whatever reason.
I liked it.
Yeah, definitely something we both noticed. So and then where do we go then? And then we literally just basically jump cut to New York City, right?
Yep, they're straight to Brooklyn. Yeah,
And then he's Santa Claus.
which I love. Undercover Santa. We need more of that in crime stories.
Well, the actual guys, because it's obviously based on a true story. A
Yep.
lot of, from what I understand, though, a lot of liberties were taken in the writing. Like
Oh.
they changed a lot, but a lot of the specific little things were taken from the real guys. And he said I'm forgetting the guy's name, Adam Egan or something like that, Alan Egan, the actual guy who Popeye was based off of.
Right.
He said as a when he was a cop, he would see drug deals on the streets, but they would recognize that they're cops and they would disperse or whatever. So it was his idea to disguise himself as Santa and he would see a drug deal. He would start singing Jingle Bells. That would let his buddies know to go to descend, and we ended up with a bunch of arrests that way. So it was an actual thing. Taken
Very
from
cool.
The actual guy, yeah.
That's awesome.
So that kind of lends to that realism. But
yeah.
Then they just chase that guy, and again, we have no idea what's going on. We went
clue.
From France to Brooklyn to Santa to chasing this guy, and you're going, what? But I'm already completely engaged.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. The only part for me that felt a little ridiculous was that Gene Hackman was able to run that guy down in a Santa costume. I was like, I don't know about that, but we'll let it go.
I was gonna say they had the guy trip, thank God. But this young, athletic-looking dude and these two, let's just say middle-aged or 30-ish old cops, chasing him down. I'm like, not happening. But he fell down, and so okay, it worked. There was not an I don't buy it moment for me, but it almost was. When he tripped, I'm like, okay, we'll let it slide. If they had just caught up with him, not a chance.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay, then let's see here. So now we're in New York City.
When he slips, I like that they just kicked the shit out of that guy from where he slipped all the way back to the alleyway. I mean, just kicking the shit out of this dude. And I was like, man, this is a 70s cop movie right here.
100%, but also in a Dirty Harry kind of way, you start going, oh, these cops are not exactly, I mean, are they completely, they're not completely, they're gray area. They're not completely good guys. You start going, boy, this is a rough and tumble neighborhood, and they're rough and tumble guys who maybe cross the line.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you're right. Early 70s, man. This is when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
many good ones.
Let's just go back. Weren't you looking at New York City going, God, wouldn't it have been cool to be back there at that time? This gritty underbelly of New York City.
Oh, it's in my notes. This had one of my all-time favorite characters, which is gritty New York City, 70s and 80s New York City, and the crime. It's just an absolutely great backdrop and a character in itself.
All those old cars, everything just looked like, I would love to just go back to that New York City and just hang out, see the people on the street corners and all that stuff.
Yeah, for like a weekend, and then they'd probably be like, all right.
Well, that's pretty much how New York is for me right now.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. What do they do from there? I have on my notes. I have the girl. Is this when they saw the girl? What girl?
Okay, so this is now we go back to France and we're intro to the villain.
Oh,
and he's got that beautiful estate, and I mean, God, what a setup he had over there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We meet his girl and we do all that. So we get a little backstory on him. And when I realized that he was the villain, my initial thought was, this guy isn't really scary. I'm not intimidated by this guy, so that was my initial reaction to the bad guy. Like, this is Popeye's going to fuck this dude up. Like, if he meets him, so that was my initial reaction to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They were talking about stuff, and he buys her the jacket and stuff, and the young girl. And then we come back. Are we back in New York now?
Yeah, we go back to New York, and then the two of them are back at the precinct, and Popeye says to Roy Scheider, I'm going to take you out for a quick drink. Takes him to this lavish jazz club, like a place you go on a date, not pop in for a drink after work, which is hilarious,
Exactly.
I mean, you're like, dude, this is not a stop for a quick beer kind of place, but we realize then that they're actually casing somebody. Popeye's like, who's this guy?
He's
that's what I mean.
The other guy's like, wait, what?
Yeah, Popeye's got a beat on this guy, and so you realize every move is kind of job related.
That scene was so well done because you walk in, Popeye knows everybody. I thought we were just
Yep.
gonna have a drink. Sonny's like, I thought we were just gonna have a drink. Or Roy Scheider's character,
Yep.
the actual guy's name was Sonny. I thought we were just gonna have a drink, and then he knows everybody. Then he's one around. That music's playing. That band was great. That's a club I would love to have gone to. Just looked like a blast.
Totally.
And then all of a sudden he zeroes in on that table, and the music changes, the vibe changes, and it's just like, it's like it was so realistic because that those guys, those cops, they could tell, they could sense that's a bad guy. That something is shady going on right there.
Yeah.
And Popeye. Oh, by the way, little trivia. Do you know that Popeye's chicken was named after Popeye in this movie?
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre? Eventually, they think he founded it. Al, forget his name now, whatever. The guy who founded Popeye's Chicken. He said he named it after the character in this movie. And people associated with the cartoon, of course, but it was named for Popeye in this movie. Kind of bizarre. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So right there at the club, and then they leave the club. I'm trying to think. Oh, and the other thing, it's kind of tough because this movie is dated in a way because, let's be honest, man, Popeye was racist as hell. You know what I mean? To everybody. He's calling Italians guineas. Look at that guinea over there. Even that's like offensive. I'm Italian, so, but.
Yeah. I mean, I had that in my notes too. Like I think we're 18 minutes into this thing, and he is offended every race.
He's the worst guy in the movie so far.
Oh, yeah. You're like, man, this guy is riding the lightning here. Jesus Christ.
Beating people up for really shady reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go to the and then is this when he remember when he put the hat threw the hat in the back of the car?
Yeah.
That like white hat or whatever, like just sun hat or whatever. Not the hat.
Yeah.
Not the little Heisenberg. And by the way, I don't know where I heard this, but I heard that in the movies or TV, the only two times you've ever seen that pork pie hat is this movie and then Heisenberg Breaking Bad. Otherwise, interesting. So I don't know if the Breaking Bad guys begged, borrowed, and stole from this or paying homage to this hat or what.
Yeah. There's a character thing for Walter White. He loved Popeye. I don't know. I never heard that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, maybe just paying homage to the character. But anyhow, the hat, throwing the hat in the back of the car, which they don't explain at all.
Yeah.
It turns out I read up on it. That was a sign that this is an off-duty police officer.
Oh, okay.
For those who knew, I'm thinking for other cops or something like that.
Right.
They're certainly not for bad guys, but that was to let people know this is an off-duty cop or plainclothes cop kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some authenticity in there. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So that. Oh, and by the way, there's just not a ton of dialogue between these two. There's not like over talking. It's just looking, driving. There was a cool scene. This means nothing to the movie where they're just getting ready to drive, and Roy Scheider has his turtleneck up like this. They're just driving. It was just an interesting choice for no other reason than that's probably somebody. It's maybe cold out or just that's something an actual human being would do. And I just thought it was an interesting actor choice.
Yeah, cool little nugget.
They were just driving by. Yeah, exactly. They didn't make a big deal about it or anything like that. And then they're following that group. That they're following the people, right?
Yeah. Then they go into that bar and they start shaking down all the people in the bar. Remember, they find all the drugs underneath.
That's right. They know they're going to be there. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was a wild scene. I mean, just think of like how crazy that is to do, to just roll into a shady ass bar, start plucking dudes off the bar stool, grabbing drugs under the ar. I mean, that's just like, hell, you're doing this every day. Like, that's a wild gig.
Yeah, and you have to think that probably was how a lot of these bars were in early 70s, early 70s New York City. But I thought it was cool when it was funny when he asked that one, wait, I forget his name. What are you doing over here? And he go, what do you mean, baby? Yeah. And then they take him into the bathroom, and then turns out he's an informant.
Yeah,
like that was all for show. I'm like,
Yep.
oh damn, that's cool, man. That way
Yeah.
he's not he's not selling his bro out to all his bros.
Yep. And it
Then
was totally believable how they did it. I was like, oh shit.
yeah. And then he takes the point. Oh, give it to me right here,
Yeah.
And you're like,
That was cool.
this is probably real shit that really happened
Oh.
in back in the day, Talk about
Yeah.
blurring the lines between legal and not legal.
Yep.
And so at this point, they've seen. Is this when they see Sal and Angie's? They follow. They follow that because yeah, you're right. The club. They leave the nice club, but that's when they follow
Yeah.
Sal
Yep.
and Angie. They follow them. They see them switch cars. They see them go to their restaurant or whatever.
Like little deli or whatever it was.
Yeah. Sal and Angie's.
Yep.
And then that's when the voiceover thing where they're talking is letting us know what's going on, but just to help us along,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Sal, what blah 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 blah. I'm getting a little confused here, but switch cars, papers. Remember they were putting the stuff in the papers, and they're like, "What's going on here?"
Oh yeah, no, totally. And what I liked about it too is like it's very engaging, but I still don't know what the hell the story is.
That's
like
exactly
how do well, how are these things going to intertwine? But I loved that they didn't like spoon feed you. You're kind of like just putting it together yourself. It was great.
I was completely lost as to what was happening.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, let's just keep going. Yeah,
sure.
And like you said, I love the fact that they didn't tell us, exactly. They just talk like real people would talk.
Yeah.
And then switch the cars. They go switching cars. And there wasn't a whole lot of music, which I really liked. And the music that was put in was just like perfect. I don't know if I don't think it won an Oscar for music, but it did win for editing, I believe, adapted screenplay, actor, and best picture. Yeah.
And best supporting actor, I believe, too.
He was nominated. He didn't win. Roy Scheider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should, in my opinion. I don't know who won that year, but he should have. He was fantastic. And then we go back to France, right? And now we see the guy talking to the assassin, and
this is when I knew we had a formidable bad guy, because he gets off that little boat, reaches in a puddle, pulls out like a barnacle, and just starts eating this barnacle. And I was like, Papa's in trouble now. This dude is eating. I don't even know what the hell that thing was.
It's such a French thing to do too. What are you doing? When they pulled up at first, I thought that was Alcatraz. I'm like, what?
I did too. I did too. That's so funny. I thought the same thing, and then I was like, all right. But yeah, the barnacle eating, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's when you go, this guy's a little psycho right here.
Yeah.
Nice a cool little choice.
Yeah.
He meets up with the assassin, so now we know they're connected. The guy who shot the pizza guy. So okay, now these two guys are connected. So now it's the pieces are starting to come together, letting us know what's going on. And then and then they bring the actor dude over.
Yeah.
And now we have a team. And then so now what's going on? So then we go back to the diner, and the diner says, what do I have? A seal. They go back to the diner, Sal and Angie's diner, and somehow Joel Weinstock gets brought up. I'm forgetting how, but now we know that he's the American side of this, whatever's going on here.
And it was because they were casing that hotel, and they were doing the list of all the people that live there, and his name was on the list, and they were like, oh, he lives here too. And so, you start to realize, oh, that's the French connection to this guy, but why is this guy getting involved in drugs? You know what I mean? So it was still a little blurry, but coming together more.
Yeah, they knew that Weinstock is a name that's a shady, gangster name, but we haven't connected all the dots at this point. But now we know what's going on. Now is when we went to the bar with the drugs. By the way, this is after all this. This is when they went to the bar with the drugs, knocked the guy out, and another thing I heard somewhere, that bar where he did, he mixed the milkshake.
Yeah.
With all their drugs and stuff. I heard somewhere, I can't confirm this actually. I didn't do a ton of research. I heard that bar has been converted to a Popeye's chicken, by the way.
Nice.
A twist of little irony or whatever.
Right.
And the bathroom informer. Okay, that was really cool. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
And then now we got word about the shipment. And we don't know much about it, but we know there's a shipment. So
Yep.
now we're tying in France. Where do you want it? Oh, yeah, okay. And then we go to the office, and then the police chief. What are you
Yes.
guys talking about? This ain't good.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
do you know who that police chief is? The actor?
No.
That was the real life Popeye.
Oh, no shit.
That was the actual guy playing that part.
Wow.
And his,
Okay.
and his partner, who's not, you don't remember him too much because they didn't use him too much.
Yeah.
But
Right.
his partner was the real Sonny, was the real guy who Roy Scheider's character. So those two guys were in the movie
Oh.
as actors. Isn't that funny?
That's awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And they
Which
were
is
great.
They were so good. And
Yeah.
that's another one of my all-time favorite characters is the pissed off police captain, lieutenant. There's never a movie where they're like, "Hey, good job, guys." He's always an asshole.
Well, I'm almost wondering if this started the trope.
Oh, interesting.
If
Yeah.
this was before that really was a thing.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good thing to maybe look into because
Yeah,
I mean it's just a classic.
Yeah, the two cops that are running a sort of a foul of the law, but hey, guys, you're getting on my hair, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I go, this might have been the one that started all that. And
Yeah.
you know what? And for reality, I'm guessing there had to be different ones, maybe, but this might be the first true cop buddy movie because it shows these guys as buddies too, and
It's actually credited to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is the one
Okay.
that started that genre.
the genre.
Which if you
okay,
watch it, yeah.
I get that, but these are cop buddies. Those guys are outlaws.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
but I see
Yeah,
what- I see
that
what
was
you're
like the
saying,
first
though.
buddy movie. Yeah. First buddy.
Yeah, hard to believe. Okay, so that was I think 69, 2 years prior. Okay,
Oh,
right
yep.
around that time. Yep.
Yep.
I tell you, man. Obviously, Redford and Newman did multiple movies. I would have loved to have seen Hackman and Roy Scheider.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do
They could have
movies
it.
together. They were great
could have-
together. They
Yeah, they could have
natural
it.
chemistry.
Yeah, they could have had a TV show together. I would have watched it. I
don't
mean,
know
it
why-
was great.
I didn't see it, but I don't know why Roy wasn't in the French Connection 2. There was a sequel that both the bad guy Ray and Hackman were both in.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Oh, and so they do the thing about Poughkeepsie. You remember that?
Yeah.
So I wonder, what does that mean? Hey, did you ever wash your feet and pick your feet into Poughkeepsie? So
Yeah.
I listened to an interview with the actual guys, the two guys.
Uh-huh.
And so the Popeye was sort of the gruff guy, who was he said when they were interrogating people, he goes, Sonny would be interrogating people, like asking questions to a bad guy. And then he goes, Popeye would come in with just some kind of weird question that was nonsensical. And he goes, sometimes the bad guy, the person getting interrogated would get so flustered with this weird question that he'd end up revealing things because he'd lose focus. And so it really had no real meaning, but that's an actual, like a question that the real guy, Popeye, would ask. Just come in and go, so do you pick your feet in Poughkeepsie? And it was like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. And
Right, yeah.
Weird,
Okay.
right? Because
That's super weird.
they don't
Yeah.
explain it to us in the movie. So
Yeah.
and this is before, imagine 71. This is before Google. This is before you could go look it up. They just put it out there, and everyone's like, "Okay, what does that mean?" What I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Which I
What, he
think
knows something.
yeah, but I just think it's really cool that they throw something in there that's a total cop speak that
Yeah.
only those cops would really know, but they don't explain it to us. There's
Yeah.
no like. So,
And it's great to know because I was like, I don't even know what that means. Like I was
either.
totally confused by that. So okay, cool.
But
That's good to
One of
know.
those things when I'm watching, I go, I gotta look that up. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. What is that? What's going on here?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now we got the French guy arriving in New York
Yep.
and the car. They
Yes.
brought the car with them, and they're
Yes.
and when you're watching, you're going, wait a second.
Yep.
Why do they bring that? Why don't they just buy a car when they get here? Why are
That
they
one. Yeah.
shipping a car over? I know. By the way, what a cool '70s car, right? That Lincoln.
Yeah.
Ah, such a badass early '70s American built, giant,
Oh.
gas guzzling.
Dude, 40 feet long, pure
Exactly.
steel, just a missile.
Ah, beautiful car, man. I
Oh,
love those.
yeah.
I love those old American cars. Just
Oh, for
gorgeous.
sure.
Which is interesting too. I guess I never really thought about it, but it's an American car, not a French car. and they're shipping it over from France. I don't know if that means anything, but interesting choice, I guess.
Yeah, probably thought it would detect like.
And by the way, I saw an interview with the actual guy. That whole storyline is based on an actual thing where there was a giant drug shipment and it was in the thing of the car. So that was all taken from an actual real thing. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then the car delivered, cost the life. Oh, this is when we find out now the feds are involved, and this is the first time that one Fed guy is basically saying Popeye cost the life of a good cop. So now we get that. Your vigilantism stuff has gone too far on several occasions, bro. You don't have the fort. We don't really like you.
Yeah.
And further graying. Is he Sky a good cop or not?
Which I thought was a really cool thing that they did. Where until almost all the way through the movie, I was like, I don't know if this is a good cop or not. Like almost the entire ride, and then even when it's over, you're still like, But as I was watching it, I was like, what side is this guy on really? And I thought they did a really good job of keeping you off balance.
That's where I think Gene Hackman was fantastic because all the stuff we're seeing, you're like, but you like that guy. You're on his side. And, and there was nothing to make you think you didn't like Roy, Roy's character. And the fact that Roy liked him he's got to be good, or Roy wouldn't waste his time with him. So I thought that was good too.
Yep.
And then he wakes up at the bar, this being Popeye. And then Roy goes, remember he woke up at the bar and he's just like, what the hell?
Yeah. Popeye parties, dude. He's all chained. He's all handcuffed up in bed.
That's the thing. Well, first of all, Roy Scheider's character goes to his apartment. Like, where does he live? He's walking down this weird hall. Where do you live? Talk about low rent housing. Exactly.
Expect nothing less out of Popeye, though.
Yeah. Then he can break in with just a credit card, like super easy. Come on in. I can't get out of it. Yeah, that was just funny. I loved it. Like I was saying, the movie's so intense that I think they threw in these nice little moments to let us breathe.
Yeah,
make these guys real, kind of make them buddies. Not just cops. Like that's something that would actually happen.
Oh, totally.
Roy Popey's door got a little slob. The red boots. Oh, she walks in, sees the red boots. So the girl that on the bike, obviously they're hooked up.
Yep.
And then we go to the auto graveyard, and those guys are bidding on cars.
Yeah.
Which is something completely off the movie. This was when I was in probably a senior in high school and then into college. My dad bought an old police car at an auction, and it was still painted black and white. It had the roll bars on the front, and it had the little where the head. Not headlights, but spotlights are on the side of the cars by the windows, where the rear view mirrors are. That area. Yep. They didn't have the actual lights, but they had the shells of it, so it looked like there was. And
cool.
And the police decal on the side was scratched off, so that was gone. Obviously, legally, you can't have that. But the car was still black and white. So when I drove that, everybody thought I was a cop.
I was going to say, yeah.
It was, dude, I'd be funny. I'd be driving down the freeway, and I'd see brake lights because people would see me in the rearview mirror. They'd start slowing down because they thought, because they looked just from a distance, it looked just like a cop car.
Totally.
Oh, so anyhow, that scene there kind of got to me. My dad goes, he got a real cheap. He goes, excellent suspension and a 400 whatever cubic engine, all this kind of. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to be driving. And it was a canine cop car too, so there's no back seat. There was like a wooden thing where the dogs used to, and like a metal grid. Dude, I used to drive that to college. Crazy.
That's like the most dad shit ever. Buy you like the ugliest car, but it's well built. It'll last forever. And you're like, look at this thing.
He kept going, the suspension. I'm like, Dad, I'm not gonna be chasing, people. So but anyhow, we're at the car auction. Again, they're not explaining what the hell's going on.
No. Yeah.
But the guys walk in and they go, that's our buyer. And it's the guy that they pointed out was Sal's brother earlier.
Yeah.
Real distinctive look, the nose and they go, and so he's the brother. So that's tying them together without telling us what's going on. You're like, oh,
right.
This ties Sal in with these guys. He's buying the car. We don't know why they're buying a car.
Yeah, they just flew one in. Why? All right, cool.
Exactly. They just flew
Yeah.
in. Now they're buying one super cheap too, junky car.
Yep.
Amazing. You could buy one for like $40 back then too, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then buyers, and the plot gets I don't want to say convoluted, but hard to talk about because there's so much time of just guys walking around looking, and just walking the streets of New York, and then all of a sudden now earlier they had the reason they went to the office was to get the feds involved so they could get the warrant to wiretap
Right.
sales, and then it shows them listening to the phone conversation, and it's just a normal conversation, and the guys are just laughing,
Yeah.
And you have to think that's I don't ever see. Generally, when they show cops in a movie listening to a wiretap, it's always like, oh, write this down. We got some. This is like just and that because these guys probably listen for hours and hours. Most of it is just normal conversation before they hear anything that they that's actually what they're looking for. So this was just funny listening to them just have a moment of listening to a dumb conversation.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very real moment, like the cops would actually go through.
Yeah, and they're just kind of playing cards and dicking around and killing time. Yeah, and then they just start drinking beers. I was like, I really like these guys. They get it. These guys
that's what I'm saying. Like he may be a bad cop, but I like him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do I got here? Listening to the phone conversation. Expect you. I can't read my own writing right here.
Well, that's where they get where they're going next, right? And then we go on the stakeout where you have the bad guys eating the steaks and Popeye and Scheider across the street eating pizza in the cold, and they're kind of trying to figure out.
This is when Popeye is telling the Fed, "No, this is a big deal," and the Fed literally goes, "No, this is small potatoes." Remember, he goes, "You still wear the gun around your ankle."
Oh yeah.
He's trying to put him down, but this is when Popeye. This is when he goes, "No, man, I know, I know. Don't." I can see why the feds are doubting because he obviously has done some things in the past, but you're like, this guy knows there's something going on with these fuckers. Big.
Yeah.
He knew, and that's a street smart guy who knows. I can't prove it yet, but it is gonna happen.
And he's not gonna stop until he knows for sure. He's not the backing off type. He's like, exactly. Oh no, I'm gonna see this through with or without.
He's convicted, man. He's got his convictions. And then and then they're driving, and the guy keeps telling him, "Hey man, go faster." And then they lost him, and then they got him, and now he's tailing on foot. And again, just New York City, just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just
so well shot.
Yeah. And then Sal, and then we see Sal and the French guys, and now it's connected. Now France is connected to Brooklyn, actually together. This is 45 minutes into the movie. I go, oh, this is it. Now we got it.
Yeah.
Now we got it. And then it's just a very long sequence of looking and studying and watching. Very little music, letting us all just let it all unfold. Friedkin, I forget. I don't even know the movie. It's called Z. Costa Grava or whatever. I think the name of the director was. But it was I believe, French movie, Spanish. I can look it up, but we don't need to. But he said he saw that influenced how he made this movie. Because this movie, The French Connection, has obviously a very documentary kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
it's shot where handhelds running with characters.
Yeah,
you can see you just feel like you're there.
Yeah,
and we're kind of seeing what they're seeing. We don't know. We're not watching omniscient. We are with them. And
we're like right in the mix, and it's so great. And especially in these kinds of movies, it's so effective because you feel like you are running down the street, you are chasing somebody. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you're kind of learning as they're learning.
Yeah,
which is just because you just don't see movies like this these days. No. I was just so engrossed going, I love, because I'm trying to figure out what's happening too. Oh, they're together now. Yes.
Yeah. It did such a good job of that. Figuring it out as the cops figure it out was really cool.
Yeah. And I think there was that scene. I think it's the one where they show them eating at the nice diner. And then they pan across the street and the cop's in the cold. He's also eating. He's and then he's drinking. He pours his coffee out. They pan back as they're having a nice coffee. You know, there's just a juxtaposition of that their
Oh, it
life
was
and his
great.
life. It's like, yeah, really just cool shot. And
Yeah.
he's still waiting in the cold. Now it's nighttime. They're still waiting. And now we have a name for the guy, Frog. The frog over there, Frog 1.
Great nickname for a French villain. Great nickname.
Absolutely. Okay, so then we cut to they're now testing the heroin.
Yep.
I heard on somebody talking about I didn't listen to him say it, but I heard somebody say that Friedkin said, I think on the DVD document or what's it called when they talk about the movie?
Commentary.
Yeah, commentary. Cut. They said Friedkin said that was actual heroin that they were testing in the movie. All the stuff was real. Right?
70s are all
dude.
Fucking A, dude.
Now, I don't know. I didn't look up his name. The guy doing the testing with the glasses and the hair.
Yeah.
I go, fucking perfect casting. Doesn't that guy look like a guy who would know everything about heroin?
Oh, I don't
know who the actor was.
No, he's probably never worked again. He probably brought his own drug kit and chemicals, and he was just like,
I totally believe this guy knows what he kept going. You know, what is this? You know, and he kept giving him names for it.
Yeah,
just like it was just such a great scene for that to be done that way. Like the casting, everything was just perfect. And then this is when Weinstock comes into play, right? When we actually meet Weinstock because he's there, and then he's there with the testing and everything's good.
Yeah.
And then Sal. Now we know that Sal is the go-between between Weinstock and the French. So now it's really starting to come together.
Right. Yep.
What's going on here? And still talking.
And then we get a bit of a hit in the plans because the guy that they're trying to sell it to is like, I want to slow down a little bit. I don't move this fast. Remember, he was like,
Weinstock.
Yeah. And he's the guy, like, he's trying to be like, let's just sell it all. And he's like, that's not how I operate. So now there's kind of a hitch in their plan here. They've flown this car in. And it's cool because usually the hitch comes from the cops got close or they have to call something off. And this was like an unexpected internal frankly, an odd decision by a bad guy to be like, I don't need to make all that money right now. Let's just chill out.
Well, I think, that was cool because you're like, oh, this guy, he senses some. First of all, they were aware of the cops' presence, obviously.
Oh yeah, yep.
And so that's when he's like, let's just not. I thought it was really intelligent. Let's not rush this.
Yep.
The other guy's young. He wants the money. This guy has money. He's like, no, man, chill out.
Yep.
This is a big deal. You don't just rush. Well, I forget what he says. Calm demeanor. He says some kind of statement, which made a lot of sense. But you're like, okay, well, Weinstock's been around the block a few times. Sal has not.
Right. Yeah, you believe him. It's something like I stay calm and I move slow. Something something cool where you're like,
yeah, right. Exactly. Totally like wisdom in that world. Nothing rushed. And then still talking, sees Frenchie. Oh, so this is when now we're back to him and he sees the French guy.
Yep.
And this is when the French guy, they follow again, takes forever. Dude. Long scene.
Yeah.
Wasn't that on the subway, off the subway, on the subway, off the subway?
One of my favorite scenes. I was like, how is this not discussed? Like the choreography of it, like the cat and mouse of it. They go over and get a drink, and then they come back, and then it's like Hackman thinks he's playing
camera angles. Yeah.
They're on, they're off. I mean, I was just like, man, that was a super cool scene.
And the fact that we didn't know it, but the French guy, he was onto him the whole time. He was playing him, and we didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was also thinking too, like, I felt like the French guy was like, all right, I'm being followed. I need to figure out which one of these people is following. And that's why he started getting on and off. And then he was like, oh, it's that guy. You know what I mean? Like
that scene where he puts the cane out and he gets off right at the last minute. You're like, oh, and then the little wave.
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah.
Great bad guy.
And then what was cool about it wasn't overplayed. Like, I got you. Just a little wave. Very totally
French.
Unbelievable.
So
the
French.
Frog one. Yeah, so French, exactly. Back on and off and on. And he waves, yeah. And then now the flight to DC.
Yep.
Now they're in Washington D.C.
Yep.
And Frenchie arrives, and this is when he tells Sal's like, I need a few more days.
Yeah.
And the French guys, not
Yeah, they don't love it. Yeah, they don't love that. Yeah.
He wants out because he's got to go. Need a
Which,
few more days.
Can we talk for 1 second about the VIP section on that airplane?
Dude,
I mean,
that too, right?
Dude, I'm assuming that was first class. It looked like a booth at a DMV, and they were just back there in the height of luxury. I thought that was okay.
I know, dude. Old airline like videos of movies when they show the way airlines used to be. So they're smoking right there in the thing.
Oh yeah,
it's like, what is happening here? How is this allowed?
You get a 4-course meal coming out. You're like, what?
Yeah, chairs are like just kind of lounging.
Yeah,
it's just fantastic.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. Like, damn, that's the nicest plane I've ever seen in my entire life. Right. Commercial airline.
Yeah.
Fright with aggression, and then now the French guy is talking to the assassin, and this is when the assassin goes, let me. I'm going to kill Popeye.
Yeah,
and keeps sitting on Boca Fed deal. I've got all these notes, but I can't even read my own right. I was getting so engrossed with the movie, and I was just trying to take quick notes while I'm watching. Oh, yeah. So basically, after this is when their boss, the real guy, the real Popeye, you're off the assignment.
Yep. Classic midpoint. Midpoint of a movie.
Well, it's funny because what it's reminded me of? It's in. I never even read up if this was movie of somewhat of an influence, but of course, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, L.A. Confidential.
Yeah,
this is a lot of similar stuff in this movie where they you're off the the assignment. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're off the special assignment, and of course they stay on it.
Yeah, Popeye ain't quitting shit, dude. Exactly. He's going for it. Yep.
So this is when, I hate to say it, but this is obviously movie time. I didn't at the time say I don't buy it, but I kind of don't buy it. You have the assassin up on the roof and he completely misses and hits a lady.
Yep.
With all the time in the world to shoot. Okay, come on, bro. I know it's a movie, but that could have been, maybe graze him in the leg and
something.
Completely miss and hit a lady.
Yeah.
Okay,
and she's got a stroller. Like you killed like the mother of an infant. Like
it's the fact that he completely missed, and then he runs up to the top, sees the gun, the cartridges, sees the guy running, and then this is basically the chase. This is when it starts.
It's like 11 minutes of just intense. It's so good. So good.
It's they did. I think it's the same guys the stunt coordinators who did the one for Bullet. Have you seen Bullet, by the way?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I see that. That chase scene at the time was the greatest chase scene ever filmed. Cars. I don't want to get into like Ben-Hur kind of stuff, but this one I think a lot of people think usurps it. I don't know. They're different. I like both of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're just. But this one here, just because of the low camera angle.
Yeah.
And they said they shot it. Not that I don't like to get into talking like technical stuff, but they shot it at 18 frames.
And so it was faster. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks seamless, but it looks way faster than it was. Although, according to some of the interviews and stuff, Friedkin said that there was one for 20 some blocks, the driver drove at 90 miles an hour.
Dang.
And he said that, now again, a lot of stuff becomes folklore after the fact, but he said they didn't have permits for any of this stuff. They had off-duty officers blocking the roads, so there was nobody's going to get hurt. But he said they did a lot of this stuff with no permits. Some of the crashes were actual crashes. not to other people, but the stunt drivers got a little too close, and they just kept it in.
Yeah.
And they were very careful to say that. Remember when the lady with the stroller, they said that was very well choreographed. That wasn't an error. That one was very well choreographed. But some of the other car stuff was
a little dicey.
It was fascinating because they have the shot where before they start the chase, he goes running down, right? Popeye, Gene Hackman, and he's flagging down a car. Car goes by him. Next car goes by him. Then finally stands. But the second car went by him, dude. I mean, it flew by him. It was like this far away from him.
Yeah,
it was like 3 feet away, and it flew by.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, you don't do this these days. Of course, CGI nowadays, but this is real stuff. That was like probably going 40 miles an hour, rode right by Gene Hackman.
Yeah, no stunt double. Yeah,
exactly. And then,
that's another thing. That's another thing you don't see in movies anymore. I feel like that was big, like in the '80s. Cops, they were just like waving people down. I need this car, and then they would just take the car. And I forgot about that. You see that in a lot of movies. This may have started it too, but you don't see that anymore. They don't do that.
I just think in the '80s it just got kind of corny, cartoony. This was
for sure.
This is just really real. And then when he finally gets that car, Gene Hackman gets in and he does that giant U-turn around the other car, and I'm like, that's him driving.
Yeah,
he peeled around, did that perfect.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yep. And then what else do you say about that? I listened to an interview with the Freak, and he said they were walking around New York City. I forget, it was him and his cinematographer, maybe the producer. He goes, what are we going to do for this chase scene? And he said, while they were walking around, they heard the train up above them.
Yeah.
And he goes, why don't we do that, chasing a train? And that's where he came up with the idea. And he said he went to the transit authority guy. He went to that guy. And he goes, hey, could we, do a train sequence? Obviously we would do it at proper timing with nobody would be getting hurt, but use the train. And now this is Friedkin talking. He said, the guy said, well, we can't do that. There's legalities involved. And Friedkin goes, okay, that's good. Fine. He goes, but we could probably make it happen for $40,000. And he goes, and a one-way ticket to Jamaica. This is Friedkin saying this. And he goes, so I went to the guys, the producers, and I said, hey, man, it's a lot of money this movie was shot for under $2 million, believe it or not, because it looks way more expensive. Obviously, obviously that was a lot of money back in the 70s, but still 1.8 million or something like that. And he goes, $40,000 on a $1.8 million movie. That's a lot of money.
Sure.
But he goes, I convinced the producers we need this shot. So we paid that guy $40,000 and we gave him a one-way ticket to Jamaica. And he goes, why do you want a one-way ticket to Jamaica? And the guy goes, because I'm going to be fired.
Yep.
And he said the guy we gave him $40,000. We gave him the ticket, and he goes, the guy was fired, and we got the shot. So
win-win.
Yeah,
for
pretty
everybody.
Good story for everything. Yeah, I love to hear.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then that chasing, like you said, what else can you say about it? It's so the editing is so from the side view, and then also underneath view, and then him driving. And it's just so intense. It's just so damn intense.
Yeah, and then he's looking up at the subway, and you see the subway bop, 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 just ripping by, and he's weaving in and out. I mean, it must have blown people's minds when that came out. I mean, that's that holds up today, let alone absolutely. 50 some years ago.
By the way, did you ever see the movie The Taking of 13
Pelham 1, 2, 3? Yeah, Pelham, that's another one I saw a long time ago, and then I saw the remake too. But there's some cool shit in there too.
Yeah, very similar kind of vibe because of the train. They got the conductor there, and I believe some of the people that worked on this movie also worked on that movie. But yeah, exactly. It was so realistic. People had to be floored just watching that go, and then the train just goes by. He runs up the train, sails by. Back down below. He's back on the road following his damn train. I mean, it is just like you said, 11 minutes long for a chase scene.
No, it's crazy. From the sniper, I think I timed it from the first sniper bullet to him getting him shooting that guy is right around 11 minutes. And it is nonstop the whole time.
You can't breathe, man. You cannot breathe. It's so intense. It's just fantastic movie making. Yeah. And then finally, of course, the assassin stumbles out.
Yep.
And he sees him on the thing. And what does he turn and runs? He tries to turn and run or something.
Something like that, and then he shoots him, and just a great shot of him down as he just falls backwards down the stairs. He gets shot in the back. Just great. Rolls all the way down.
Exactly. And I'm watching this going, another early 70s thing. That's a stunt guy falling down actual stairs.
Right.
Like, what the hell? There's no way you could do that without getting hurt. I don't care how professional you are. It's still like, that is an incredible little stunt right there. They said that the cops, I don't know, not the two guys involved, but they said a lot of the police officers did not like that scene, did not approve of that scene because he goes, you're shooting a guy in the back. That's murder. That's not self-defense. And he goes, yeah. And Friedkins, he goes, yeah, but this is what Popeye would have actually done in that situation. Yeah. And I go, I kind of agree. I mean, the guy shot at him. The guy's an assassin. Get rid of him.
The guy killed a mother with a stroller, and then 2 cops on the metro, plus the conductor. Yeah, all right, I'm taking them out. Exactly. You want to talk about it? Yeah, like, what do you mean?
Well, let's talk about it after. Let's talk about it after the fact, okay?
Yeah.
But then gun to conductor. Yeah, Chase Carbit. Boy, just the point of view of shots. I'm just looking at my notes right here. And then now, this whole time I'm going, there came a moment where I was going, okay, wait a second. Where's Roy? Where is he right now?
Right. Yeah.
Lost Roy for a while. All of a sudden, now he's just back. No question, Zach. He was getting coffee the whole time. So now Roy's back. Now they're going to get Sal. And Roy runs into Sal. Roy runs into Sal as he pulls his car out. Yeah. And he sees the car pull out, and that's when he goes up. Now the car has re-entered the equation. Remember that I'm going, why do they bring this car? Now this gorgeous car has re-entered the equation. And then again, this is when Popeye, the car is dirty. He knows. I know. And you have to think, that guy who spent his life on the streets, when he knows, he knows. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And then they start sitting on the car, watching the car, staking out the car, which another really cool moment I thought too, felt like New York City, was they're sitting there watching the car, and then they cut to like a bunch of kids just playing hockey in the street in the middle of the night. And then like, nothing to do with the story. They just watch these kids play hockey for a second. We go back to the story. It's like, that should probably happen all the time back then, so to just include a little shot of that, I thought was great.
Just real stuff. And then the steam coming up, that shot down there, the steam coming out of that, like just New York City, gritty, dirty New York City, just beautiful shot. Shot. It just makes you want to go. Remember, we spent 5 days in New York. Like, I fucking love New York, dude. There's something about that city that just, oof. And movies like this made me go, I need to get back there. I definitely need to go back there and spend some time. Like you said, they sit all night, and all of a sudden that car who'd circled 3 times pulls up. You're like, shit's about to go down.
Here we go.
Turns out it was just a bunch of, petty thieves about to steal the tires.
Yeah, which I thought was also great. I also thought that was cool. I was
100% believable.
Yep. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Then they impound the car.
Here we go.
What?
No, this part I thought was great too, but I also feel like I know where we're heading towards. But they impound the car.
Where are we heading?
To maybe Johnny's "I don't buy it" moment.
Fucking don't. This is when it got like so silly that I'm like, oh my god, you cannot be serious. Okay, so they
had a feeling.
Impound the car, and then they just start tearing it to shreds, and not like removing screws, like fucking pulling shit out, tearing shit out.
Dude's just stabbing the fucking upholstery with a knife, dropping elbows on it. I mean, it was crazy what they did to that thing.
That's what I was saying, dude. And we get it going. They're gonna, we're gonna, and so then, they're sitting there going, this is just, I'm sorry, dude. This is so, I can't buy it that I just cannot buy it. I just don't buy it. Hey, and then the line, I just, there had to be a better way to have done this. I'm just surprised that this is how it wound up. When he goes, where is it? I have the line. Oh yeah. He goes, what? It's dirty. I know it's dirty. He goes, hey, I've taken everything but the rocker panels. Well,
Yeah.
why didn't you take those? Why would
Yeah.
you take literally everything else? We don't need to do these.
Yeah.
Why would you even have not taken those?
I mean, almost start there. You know what I mean? Like if you're taking, I thought this too. You take the door off, that you just work like forward. You
That's
just
what I'm saying, dude.
Dude.
You know you didn't take those, so why didn't you?
Yeah.
And then of course they find it.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a cool thing with the pounds. How much does this car
Yeah.
weigh? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. It was 4,675 over there, and now
Yeah,
it's
that was cool.
4,790. Yeah. You know, intelligent. But then the ultimate. This might be the biggest. I don't buy it in the history. Within hours or less, they've restored the car to mint condition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had to not buy that too, right?
Oh, 100%. Oh, dude, no. Oh, I was sitting there and I was like, because the whole time I'm like, holy shit, what are they gonna say to this guy? Why is his car all fucked up? Like, and then he even says to him, man, your car's in mint condition. Exactly. You must be a lucky guy. And they just get in and drive away. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, why didn't they just pull those floorboard things up and the first thing they did? We got it. And then put them back together.
Yeah, it would have been,
The scene of tearing it all apart, I get it. They're trying to be dramatic and stuff. It literally kind of took me out of the movie at that point.
Yeah.
Because it is so dumb, like literally so beyond dumb for a movie that has been so perfect up until now. I'm like, you cannot be serious.
Yeah.
God, I mean, what is happening?
It was awesome to see him rip the car apart. Like, great. If you're going to do that, then you can't then give it back and have the guy not notice that
that's what I mean. I get it. It was a cool to show them ripping a car apart.
Yeah.
You know, it was dramatic, but it didn't work for the movie. I just can't believe they go, this doesn't make any sense. And then again, it's, hey, there you go. Here's your keys.
Oh, it's perfect.
You got to pay the tow fee. Oh my God.
Yeah, I knew it.
I was so like, yeah, dude.
I knew it was coming, dude.
Yep. Yeah, it was there the whole time. I can't believe I bit my tongue until now.
Right.
But anyhow, okay, then I'm back into it. But I'm sort of. But and then the French actor, whatever, the French dude, the French actor guy, he wants out. He doesn't want to be involved in this anymore. And then so French gets in the car. He starts driving. They meet up with Sal's bro. They go down. So now we know that Sal's brother's in there. And now we got the drugs. They're tested again by that drug testing guy who's perfect.
Yep.
And now the auction car is brought back into play. Now they're putting the stuff into the auction car. Okay, so that tying everything together.
Yeah.
You know, without spoon feeding us the whole time, which is unbelievable. Just great script writing.
Totally.
After the car thing. And then they take off. There's a stakeout. And now we got the final chase. Shooting everybody up. Roy gets to blow Sal away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And then this is when, who knows how much is based on truth, but, Popeye's on the chase for his nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up shooting the Fed guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, didn't need that.
Yeah.
But
it
makes me wonder if that actually happened, though. And, not on purpose, but in the line of duty kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Or like, did Popeye know it was maybe the Fed guy who's been, didn't like him the whole time? Some questions in there.
Yeah. It's fair to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it, the showdown. This is another moment where I was like, kind of like, what the hell's going on here? They get to like the warehouse or whatever. There's like 18 bad guys there. There's like an army of dudes there out of nowhere. I'm like, there's the tow truck drivers, and I get it. You need to have people shooting back and forth and everything. But they're doing the swap with the money and the car and everything. And I'm like, you guys are going to make like $80 each. Like, there is so many people in this little crew now. It was out. There was guys everywhere. That was the other thing. I was like, dude, there's been like 3 dudes. Yeah, there's been 3 dudes this whole time. Now you got like 15 guys here. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. We need to have a dramatic big ending.
And I get it.
Rather than them going, we got you. No. It's early 70s. Let's blow everybody away. This is
I love
Harry
it.
era. Yeah, it was great. It
Yeah, I thought it was
also
great.
it also reminded me a little bit of the ending of L.A. Confidential, the big shootout scene, just
Yeah,
everybody shooting everybody, and then what's his face, the French guy,
Frog
disappears.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, Frog one,
gets
he's gone,
away.
and
That's
then
it.
that was it. Then they just cut
Yeah.
to this so and such went to prison, so and such, and the French guy was never found. It's like what?
Hmm.
Where did he go?
Yeah.
How did he escape? And so you're left to go, okay, was he a great cop? He had great
Yeah.
intuition, but maybe he should have handled things a little bit better. It's like, but I mean, there was actual footage. It was the biggest drug busted, I believe, in even to this day, as far as heroin goes, but certainly back then, of any uh, cop or police officer, whatever city police is ever precinct has ever. It's the biggest drug bust ever in U.S. history for any
Holy
police
shit.
precinct. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's an actual thing with this. The guys,
Yeah.
a lot of the guys involved, the bad guys, they got off with either light sentences or
Yeah.
just got off altogether. But just again, how much of this is true? How much of it's manufactured? Who knows? But
Sure.
just a great early 70s, like we talked about. Cops are not the greatest guys in the world, kind of,
Yep.
but they have their code that they go by. And the fact that Roy goes, I back my partner. Remember that in the middle of the movie?
Yeah. You got to.
You gotta love that, I go with my partner.
Yeah.
That's how it is. True
Well,
blue.
I mean, if you're in that world, especially back then, there's no cell phones. There is no,
Yeah.
two-way radios are probably somewhat new. Like there is no.
You're on your own out there.
Dude, if you can't trust your partner, I mean, you're not gonna be making it long. Rolling into bars, shaking everybody down, like, you'll be done too.
Yeah, and it's cool because Roy, they didn't really get into his personal life, but it seemed like he was much more the normal, regular guy, and Popeye was the crazy one. So he's the one who kept him sort of sane. But he also went along. He also went along with him. He never questioned him.
Yeah.
So good movie, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you're at the end, you kind of wanted to see him get the bad guy, but that ambiguous ending, that's a 70s thing.
Yeah.
That could not have happened in the 40s or 50s because I don't think the Hays Code would allow the bad guy. They did not allow the bad guys to get off without getting their comeuppance.
Right.
So that all changed, I believe, when they switched to the rating system, like the RPG, that kind of thing. Yeah. Before that, bad guys had to get caught at the end if they had done something bad.
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
70s, man.
Love it.
Just such a sign of the times, the rough times going on in the world, and all the realness of movies. It really was the decade of just yikes, real. Before the 80s just got all cornbally and fun, honestly. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And colorful.
It could not have been more different. The 80s movies from the 70s movies.
Absolutely. What a crazy decade from one to the next. So anyhow, what did you well, let's just cut then. We were at an hour and 30. So what grade, what letter grade would you give The French Connection?
Oh, it's an A for me, 100%. I thought it was just great. Yeah, a couple little things, that one big part at the end, but the rest of it was so just outstanding. Definite A. And I'm glad I got to rewatch it for sure. Because I was like, how am I not more familiar with this movie? This movie is outstanding in a lot of ways, for sure.
Yeah. I would I believe I gave The Maltese Falcon an A+.
Yeah.
Because there was not one single I don't buy it in that movie. This movie was gearing straight towards A+ until that car thing. And the rest of it is so good that even with that insane I don't buy it, I'm with you. I've got to give it an A. This is a movie I would recommend to anybody who loves movies. Now you have to be willing to go along for a 10-minute sequence where just people looking down streets and following and walking and seeing guys. But I love stuff like that. And the other thing, there was one point where I go, reason I feel like this is so well directed is there's not one moment where you're going, oh, I'm aware of him directing. I'm aware of it. Oh,
Mm,
look at this artsy camera angle.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's just putting us on the streets of New York with these guys.
Yeah.
That's what he did. It was just amazing.
Yeah. And like some of those like long sequences and everything of people just looking down the street, I thought made it really cool. Like you really
Exactly.
felt like you were in the world. Like it was
Absolutely.
like, oh, this is probably pretty close to what it felt to do this.
It's so complicated because at one point you had like 3 or 4 or 5 cops following 3 or 4 guys, and they made it all kind of. And one guy had to duck away so the other guy could go in, and
Yeah.
you're like, they made it so we could follow along with that without it getting too like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Just a really intelligent movie, intelligently written, shot.
Hmm.
Everything about it was just. I just thought was like, again, that scene right there was just a little too cornball. I get it to further the plot, and they could have impounded it for 3 days and then showed them rebooting it and polishing it so it looked new. But
Yeah.
either way, they had to get on with the story. So,
Yeah.
but other than that,
Yeah.
I could let it slide. I got to give it an A. Yeah.
Oh, hands down, for sure. I mean, yeah, everything about it. Just the chase sequence. I love the subway scene with Popeye and the bad guy. That little dance they were doing, the writing. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep. And like you said, even the way it started, just boom, a guy who doesn't even speak is shot.
In the
And
face.
yeah, and we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We didn't even get to know who that is. Why
Yeah.
did he shoot? It's just all of a sudden I'm like, I'm in. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it
all
was
right.
great. Good.
Any
Cool.
final words on the French Connection?
No, man, good call. Like I said, I'm glad I got to revisit this one because it was a hell of a ride for sure.
Yeah, that good pun. Excuse the pun. Hell of a ride.
Yeah.
All right. So then you pick our next movie.
So I had one picked, and then I can either just pick one or I can give you an option between two, and you can pick.
You have to
Okay.
pick.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I was thinking about this the other day. We have yet to do any kind of a comedy.
100%.
So I am going to go with My Cousin Vinny for the next.
All right. It's been a
My
while. I
Cousin
have
Vinny.
seen it, but it's been a while.
Same thing for me. It's been a very long time since I've seen it. And I'm excited to dust it off. So
Is that mid 90s? Is that what that would be?
yeah.
Mid 90s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
93, something like that.
all I remember is that I can't remember the actress's name,
Marissa Tomei. Yep.
She won the Oscar, and everybody was in an uproar.
Yep.
That's all I remember. So we'll have to watch it and see if it was justified. But all right, My Cousin
Cool.
Vinny. Guys, this has been a Century of Movie podcast. Chris Weibel, thank you for joining me. Stay warm in Charlotte. It's 82 degrees here right now in Southern California, so I'll try to get by. I don't even know why I'm wearing a hoodie, but
I know.
yeah, we'll see you guys next month with My Cousin Vinny.
All right,
Good night,
brother.
everybody. See you.
Yeah.
Bye.